as well as the interest and hope for the best, if you must do it. But Hazrat Muslim Maud also pointed out another point which is very interesting. He said, I have also reservations against insurance because if Ahmadis pay their extra money to insurance companies, how will they pay chanda to Jamaat Ahmadiyya? So in fact, what they save, according to the Holy Quran, that should go to Allah. يَسَلُونَكَ مَاذَا يُنْفِقُونَ قُلِ الْعَفْوِ. They ask you, O Muhammad, peace be upon him, what they should spend in the way of Allah. Say whatever is left over. So Hazrat Muslim Maud said that I see a great danger to the system of Chanda of Ahmadiyyat, because it is the leftover with most of the people which they can pay. And there are very few rich people who can afford to do both things. But if at the ordinary level, people start paying the leftovers to the insurance company and they become insurance minded, then they would be weaned away from the Ahmadiyya system of contributions. That was the fear he expressed. And also, he assured Ahmadis that if for this sake they have their dependence upon Allah and get insured with Allah, paying their chanda instead of getting insured, I assure them that Allah's insurance company will treat them much better and much more generously. And they'll be looked after in ways that no insurance company can ever look after their policy holders. So this is the most final, the most clinching argument that I ever heard in favor of not insuring. And this is my personal inclination. But as far as the law is concerned, all we can do is we can advise Ahmadis, and that is all. As long as there is no element which is positively prohibited, we cannot stop them. But we can advise them and guide them to the right way. Those Ahmadis who have been paying chanda at their own personal sacrifices and without any regard to diverting that money to insurance companies and so on, they are much better off. They are looked after well by Allah and they are very happy, I know. So that is an experience to be gained before you judge. I think I have, though in short, but I have spoken of all the various aspects that I could speak on, right? Yes. Just a minute, and another question from, have you got another question?
Not now.
Huh?
Not now.
Not now, okay, please.
I just wish to make an observation on the fourth element that you mentioned about insurance. The fact that
Mutual?
Yes.
Mutual insurance?
No, the fourth
Which
element.
was that? Tell me.
You mentioned about the insurance companies going bankrupt.
Bankrupt ultimately. Yes, please. Yes.
On that possibility, the recent introduction amongst the banking and the insurance world has been that a fund has been set up. A mutual fund has been set up by the insurance companies. And the insurance companies themselves contribute to that fund, making sure that if any insurance companies goes bankrupt, they will do a life-saving operation.
This is what I mentioned. You have forgotten that I said reassurance.
So reinsurance is that the companies reinsure their policies.
The reinsurance companies are those with whom the insurance companies get insured.
Right.
And that happens when individually an insurance company goes bankrupt. They can look after them. But I mentioned a possibility of great world upheaval. In those cases, no reinsurance companies can pay for the entire world insurance systems.
Quite true.
Yes.
But, apart from the possibility of that upheaval occurring, where the whole banking system and the insurance system would collapse, in terms of individual insurance companies collapsing, the reason...
I know that there is a reinsurance. I agree fully.
Right.
But I'm talking of the world wars which hit, do not directly when the world wars approach, something goes wrong with the world economy. Recession set in. And many things begin to happen very crookedly and cunningly under the surface. And the money lenders, the world great money lenders, they begin to play havoc with the financial system of the world. And they are ready for launching themselves into the huge profits which wars offer them ultimately. So these are the times when these systems fail.
In fact,
They happened, such times came prior to the World Wars, First World War and the Second World War, and now you will see when the Third World War comes, things of this crooked nature will begin to happen.
So in fact, that observation has been made in the recent financial collapse of one of the leading banks in the United States and
Yes,
one
yes.
of the leading banks in the United Kingdom.
Correct.
This has happened without actually a world war occurring.
No, but the economy was traveling in that direction. Already signs have appeared, and that was also one of the hits of those future possibilities. They do not appear suddenly all over the world. Things of that nature begin to happen here and there, ultimately drop by drop it becomes rain. So you are referring to the collapse of the American bank,
Continental
which,
Illinois.
yes, which was supported by all the other banks as well. For a while, it was kept alive, but ultimately it capsized.
And
They couldn't keep it alive anymore.
well, yes, they have managed to rescue the bank and have appointed a new board.
Yes,
The FDIC have taken over.
that's right. But the previous bank is finished. A new bank has in fact come into being. That's right. Yes.
And similarly, over the last weekend in the United
Is it your
Kingdom,
profession that you know of these things? I see. What's your profession?
banking.
What are you in the banking?
Sir, I'm an executive officer with the Central Accounts Division.
I see. That's right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, any other question, please? And you'll observe many interesting things happening when the poor countries will not be able to pay back their debts. You know, then other elements will creep into this. You have another observation about that to make? Please come on.
Well, I just wanted to point out that the banks, the major banks in fact, are being forced into a situation where they have to reschedule the debts of the third world countries, and thereby it becomes a system where, you know, it goes on and on and on, and ultimately a day will come, as you've observed,
Right.
which will end up creating
Catastrophe.
havoc in the world.
Right. Very, very minute things happen, though in unconcern, indirectly, they begin to influence these things. But they do happen. Now, for instance, the medical profession directly has nothing to do with it, as Dr. Latif Qureshi would bear me out. But in America and other advanced countries, the medical risks have been rising steadily, with the result that the doctors felt very much insecure. Now, this is how this insurance company have become a sort of racket, mafia type thing, which has sent its tentacles into all professions and all clean things. Now, the result was that because of the American laws, anyone who felt that the doctor had been negligent to him could sue him. And the amount against which he sued was so colossal that if the doctor sold out all his property, he could not meet that demand. The result was that he immediately got insured against that sum. And when he got insured against that sum, he had the possibility of quite a few such cases. So the insurance amount was quite huge. He had to pay a huge premium, with the result that he raised his fees and charged these patients. And a vicious circle started, with the result that now to become ill in United States, if you are not insured, is a greater risk than to die. So the result is that the whole system has completely gone out of the control of either the patients or the physician